Seton Hall University's efforts to conceal an investigative report that detailed allegations of a possible sexual abuse cover-up were overturned yesterday. A judge determined that the university must turn over a report that it commissioned in 2019 to investigate sexual abuse allegations against members of the Newark Archdiocese. One member is the now defrocked Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, accused of decades of abuse. Monsignor Joseph Riley has been accused of knowing about and not reporting McCarrick's abuse, only to be named president of Seton Hall University last year. Dustin Rasiopi is the New Jersey editor for Politico, and he was in the courtroom yesterday as the ruling came down. He's here now to talk about it. Dustin, great to have you with us tonight. I know yesterday was a long day in court. Help us understand what happened, what the judge's ruling is going to determine now in terms of making this report more open.
Yeah, it was a lengthy hearing, and there were a number of arguments that lawyers on both sides made. But really what it came down to and what the judge decided was that Seton Hall, in her view, violated a previous court order from a couple of years ago, where she says that they should have coughed up certain documents related to this 2019 report that's related to former Cardinal McCarrick into clergy abuse at Seton Hall. So she said that Seton Hall violated that order, and they now have to give her an unredacted version of that report and related documents for her to review. And then she will decide whether portions of it are subject to attorney-client privilege, things that should be redacted. And then she will then share that redacted version with lawyers for the plaintiffs in this broader case.
Now, help us understand, Dustin, the case that Seton Hall was making, because they did commission this report. They've said that this was attorney-client privilege. Explain how they argued that in court, which seems was unsuccessful.
Yeah, they made a lot of different arguments. Some of it was to go against what the plaintiffs had argued. But yeah, they had said this was subject to attorney-client privilege, and therefore they shouldn't have to turn it over. But they also said that they weren't subject to this discovery order from a couple of years ago. But that obviously did not work with the judge, and she ruled the way that she did, and so she's going to see this report.
Now, the plaintiffs are making the case, and as you told me before we started, there are about 450 plaintiffs as a part of this case. But they are making the case that this is not a situation of just a few bad apples. I believe someone was quoted as saying this is a rotten orchard. What are they pushing for? What do they believe this report indicates in terms of the broader, I suppose, alleged cover-up?
Yeah, it's just like you said. I think the belief on the plaintiff's side is that this is going to go towards contribute towards their broader argument that this was a broad and systemic problem within the Archdiocese. They're dealing with about 450 cases of alleged abuse within the Archdiocese, including Seton Hall and other churches, parishes within the Newark Archdiocese. 450 cases going back 70, 80 years. It's a lot. They're wrestling with thousands, if not millions, of documents. So the Seton Hall, the 2019 report, is just going to fold into all of that. And I think they believe that this is going to make their broader case that there was longstanding systemic issues within the church.
Now, one of those alleged claims is that Monsignor Joseph Riley, who is now the president of Seton Hall University, was aware of sexual abuse allegations against Theodore McCarrick, who is now defrocked. What are you hearing and what are we seeing around the state in terms of calls now for Riley to step down as the head of Seton Hall University? And do you believe that the overturning of this report could have an impact in that?
I'm not sure that that would have an impact on that. Seton Hall has stood very firm in standing by Monsignor Riley's side. And I just want to clarify, it's alleged that he may have heard or known about things with McCarrick, but it was separate allegations that he allegedly knew about and didn't properly report. And he's not accused of abuse himself either. So I just want to make that clear.
Absolutely.
Lawmakers some of them are still pushing for this. Representative Mikey Sherrill has not been satisfied with the responses that she's gotten. Two state senators, Joe Vitale and Andrew Zwicker, They are not satisfied. They're probably the strongest voices in Trenton right now. They just put out a statement to me the other day saying that this really isn't enough, that the university should be transparent and should let people know. But Seton Hall, as I said, that they've stood firmly by Monsignor Riley, and it looks like they're going to stay that way for now.
So the report has been ordered to be turned over. It has not yet. As you said, we in the public are not going to have any access to it as of yet. But we'll keep on this story. I know you will too. Dustin Rasiopi, New Jersey editor with Politico. Thanks so much for your time tonight. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.